Is it possible that Cade Cunningham just is not good?
No.
Cade, gotta get rid of it. Oh! Whoa!
Let me rephrase that initial question. Is it possible to average close to 23 points and 8 assists per game in just your second full season on a team with next to no spacing and a head coach who was coaching with the intentions of getting an early payout and still be considered a disappointing number 1 draft pick? Well, if your name is Cade Cunningham, apparently it is. But that's about to change, and in a big way this season, because when you're a 6'6" guard who can handle the ball, manipulate defenses at will, and dissect teams from the mid-range, odds are you are going to be an NBA star. And Cade Cunningham is absolutely no exception to that rule. Kevin Durant said just as much during Cade's first year in the NBA. When you've got a 6'7" point guard, I mean, that's a good start. Somebody who can wreck a whole defensive game plan with his size, his talent, his skill. Just take this play for example. Right here is Drew Holiday. You've probably heard a few good things about his defense. Kevin Knox comes to set the screen, which in itself should tell you about Cade's supporting cast, but he rejects that screen, crossing Holiday up, and just look at the in and out into a Euro step and reverse layup. Or this play against Gary Harris, which is just a flat out violation of his human rights. The pump fake 3 into the behind the back dribble once, twice, 3 times before the crossover, the bump, and then just the soft hook shot. And Cade Cunningham does not care how good a defender you are, he will still attack you. This time it's Cason Wallace, who despite being a rookie, is an elite guard defender. Cade spins off him, and then with Chet Holmgren waiting at the rim, look at the use of his body to protect the ball and still finish. That's what you get with Cade. On the first play, you see his downhill driving ability and his change of speed at his size, but then you also see his strength. Look at this play against Klay Thompson, who despite losing some foot speed, is a very strong post defender, and Cade recognizes he can't back him down all the way to the basket, so he outsmarts him, moving to the middle of the floor before then using his momentum to spin off him and get the bucket. This is why Cade Cunningham is a special player, because he has all the physical traits, but he also has the intelligence to be a winning player. Yes, a winning player. And I know what people are itching to say, but look at Cade's box plus minus or his advanced stats. Okay, well look at Killian Hayes being his backcourt partner for half the year, Monty Williams being his head coach, and his 2 best vets being Alec Burks and Bojan Bogdanovic. The minute those 2 guys went to a serious team in New York, they went from key contributors in Detroit to rotation guys at best in New York. That's what Cade Cunningham was dealing with in just his second full season. So I apologize if I don't care about his plus minus or win shares as of right now. What I care about is his level of skill and composure as a 6'6" point guard, and that's no more apparent than his ability to dissect teams in the pick and roll. Just like here, where Duran sets the screen, and watch Cade just feign as though he's gonna take the jumper, forcing Allen to commit before slipping the bounce pass to Duran. Or in this play with Duran setting the screen, it's just that slight hesitation from Cade that throws off Şengün and allows him to chuck up the lob. This is what Cade is so good at doing, is manipulating the opposition big, like here, where Vooch is up on the pick and roll, and it's that slight hesitation again, and also the ability to throw a perfect lob whilst moving backwards that we shouldn't take for granted. And when he's not feeding his big man in the pick and roll, then he's dissecting teams with his deadly mid-range ability. Just take this play for example against CJ McCollum, where Duran sets the screen again, he gets McCollum on his back before then dribbling underneath the help defense of Herb Jones and then using his strength to discard CJ for an open jumper. Having the strength to hold off a defender whilst also navigating the help defense from Herb Jones is special. And this is what Cade does so well. On this occasion, he had to deal with the help defense as well, but generally when he gets the screen, he uses his size to keep the defender on his hip, and from there, you're at his mercy, as he has complete control over what spot he wants to get to before then rising up and shooting. And even if you do manage to somehow get back in the picture for a contest, at 6'6", it's not enough to alter the shot. But that's not it, because aside from the size, strength, strength and ball handling, Cade will also hit you with an array of head fakes and pivots to throw you off balance before taking the shot. Look at this against Kobe White, where it's that same screen and roll, whoops, gets him once, whoops, gets him again, to go along with a little toe tap before then rising up. And the numbers back up the film when it comes to Cade's mid-range ability, as he was amongst an elite group of players to shoot 48% or above on at least 3 mid-range attempts per game. And aside from his surgical mid-range scoring and passing, his ability to finish at tight angles around the rim, pause, is seriously good.
Cunningham with the runner.
Watch here as he has Bruce Brown on his hip. Toppin comes over to help and trap Cade baseline, but look at the little hesitation before toe tapping the baseline, and that finish. I'm glad the camera angle did it justice, because that's just not a normal finish in any way, shape, or form, and he does this consistently. Again on this play against Jarrett Allen, where he's moving baseline, it's the ability to reverse it in from such a tight angle, which makes it impossible to block his shot, because both his back and the backboard are protecting the ball. And the numbers don't quite reflect his ability to finish around the rim, particularly for someone his size, but the level of finesse he has, paired with being 6'6" with broad shoulders and the ability to dunk on players, gives me the utmost confidence that he will be an elite scorer at the rim during his prime. Now, if you want any more indication of just how skilled he is, watch him in transition here. He goes to the in and out, and with the help defense, look at the adjustment to go low on the dribble, maintaining control the entire way, and then just throwing down a two-handed dunk. Those are not normal levels of coordination from someone that size. And I know I keep mentioning the fact he's 6'6", but he has those crafty elements to his game that you normally see from guys like Jalen Brunson or Chris Paul, but he has 6 inches on those guys. Pause again. And those extra inches that he has are also an X factor on D. Okay, I'm gonna stop, my bad, but the defense is genuinely an X factor for Cade Cunningham.
Tatum spins right at it. Cunningham got a piece of it. Brunson hesitated on that three. Now makes the drive. Shot blocked from behind by Cunningham.
Because those physical traits that he uses to his advantage on offense are all there for him to be a very good two-way player. We've definitely seen it in glimpses, but it's hard to be the sole focus on offense and be completely engaged on defense whilst your team sucks, to be blunt. But with the likes of Ron Holland and Asar Thompson, plus the hiring of JB Bickerstaff, there's a clear shift in defensive identity that's happening in Detroit, and Cade should be expected to follow suit, because there's zero reason he can't be one of the better guard defenders in the league. Now, if you did make it to the end of the video and want to see more content like this all throughout the offseason and going forward, consider subscribing, it's free. Dropping a like on the video would be much appreciated. Have a great day. Bye.